The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
On that day, Jesus went out of the house and sat down by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat down. And the whole crowd stood along the shore. And he spoke to them at length in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground, where it had little soil. It sprang up at once, because the soil was not deep, and when the sun rose, it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil, and produced fruit 100 or 60 or 30-fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise be to Jesus and Mary.
Now and forever.
Some seed fell on rich soil and produced fruit. Brothers and sisters, mga igsoon, mga kapanalig, today we celebrate the memorial of two special persons in our faith, and that is Saint Joachim and Saint Anne, the grandparents of our Lord Jesus Christ. And we can see that they are the good soil. Because if not for them, we will not have our Blessed Mother. Kung wala sila na ginamit na instrumento ng Ginoo, wala si Mama Mary. They are the parents of our Blessed Virgin Mary. Although they are not written in the Bible, yet tradition gives us their name, especially the liturgical tradition of the Church. The devotion to Saint Anne was very early. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the 6th century. And then that of Saint Joachim. And just like the two of them, we too should really produce fruit. And of course, we should pray today. Iampo natin ang atong mga lolo at lola. Katulad ng pag-ampo natin last Sunday in the 3rd World Day of Grandparents and Elderly. Because we can learn, sabi nga ni Pope Francis, two generations should dialogue to each other. Ang mga batanon dapat makinig sa mga tigulang, mangingaw sa mga tigulang. At ganoon din, yung mga tigulang, kailangan mamingaw sa mga batanon. It should be a collaboration between the two, the old and the young and the old. Should learn to each others. Just like Saint Joachim and Saint Anne learned from our Blessed Mother, and what our Blessed Mother learned from Saint Joachim and Saint Anne. And let us include in our masses our grandparents, all the elderly, to pray for them, and that they continue to guide our generation. Especially, one of the dangers now, isa sa mga kinahadlukan karon, that the young generation forget what happened to our history. Nakakalimutan na ng mga bata kung ano nangyari sa ating bansa, sa ating history ng ating bansa. No? And sad to say, there's the tendency to change textbooks, change, baguhin daw yung mga nangyari sa history, to cancel some of those important events in our country. No? And it is the job, it is the mission of those who are elderly and grandparents to really be the good source of history for their apo, for their children. No? Sabi nga, hindi kita malilimutan, hindi kita pababayaan. No? We must never forget, and those grandparents or elderly should never forget and teach the young generation so that the mistake we have done, the mistake of the past will not come in the future, in the present. Saint Joachim and Saint Anne, pray for us. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Now